Hello there, how you doing? Let's go ahead and get started. My name is Brian, and what I'm going to do today is show you how to use the Dillon XL 650 progressive reloading machine to reload some 40 caliber brass. All right. So what we're going to do is first off, let's get started. Right. Let me go ahead and show you how it looks. First off, brass comes like this right here. You can see it. I've got various calibers in there and everything. My son and I went to the range, fired a whole bunch, and then I also pick it up. You can never have too much brass. What kind of way I look at it. So what we do here is we go into a tumbler, and you can see that that cloth looking stuff. That's not what that is. That's actually fabric softener sheets. I tear them up, put them in there, and then you pour your medium. And that medium, if you don't want to spend a lot of money on it, it's walnuts. It's what they use for like bearded dragons or whatnot for their bedding. It's pretty cheap that way. And then I'll just add some, I like to use 3M rubbing compound. That works out pretty good. So then we go ahead and once it's all gone through, let it go for a couple of days tumbling. I'll put it in here and separate it, and that gets all the medium out, and it makes the brass come over here come out really pretty. This just got done this morning, or this afternoon actually when I got home from work. That's 45 caliber brass, but you see how pretty it is? That's one thing that I'm all about is I want it to look good. I like my brass to look good, so, and it does. And all right, so then what we do then is we go ahead and this is the XL 650. You can see there's the case feeder attachment. That's the best couple $100 you're going to spend. What it does, it actually helps get your cases lined up. And you see it working now. Otherwise, I mean, you can do 10 or 15, 20 cases at a time. But this is just so much nicer. And there's two different shell plates you can put in there. There's a large shell plate and a small one. This one's got the small one in it now. And you can see that once it got to the top of that detent up there, that's it. It stops it for now. And then once it goes below that, it'll redo it. So they're all orientated. What I've got here too is I've got my primers. I use this plate. You take and put your primers on here first. And then I'll just go ahead and do that again for you, just so you can kind of see what it does. They make an automatic one that you can buy. It's like $35, $40, but I haven't done it yet. So my brother has it. He reloads as well, and he swears by it. I just haven't got there yet. So with a little bit of coaxing, that one just doesn't want to turn over, does it? There he goes. All right, so we go ahead and turn those over. Take our plate, close it down, turn it back over the top. And then you can see we've got our primers orientated in the direction we want them. Take our pickup tube, and we do this. I like to reload. I mean, the way ammo is right now, you can pretty much buy anything you want except for 22 caliber, right? But also depending on where you live, sometimes places you can get it pretty easily even. But I like to reload because, I don't know, it's relaxing, and you know what you got, you know what I mean? And it's just fun. And, so for whatever reason, if you don't want to do it, don't. But you wouldn't be watching this video, right? All right. So we've got this primer feed here. This is where your primer tube is right here. And it's got this little high-speed deal. You can see that little flapper on top. Once it comes in contact, it makes an audible sound to let you know you need to add more primers. So you take this, and there's a pin. You could do it, or you just be kind of quick and get your primers in there like that. No big deal. All right, so I've got my primers loaded in there. I'm not going to do a lot of rounds just to show you how it works. All right, so we close that down. It does come with a stick. It goes right on here like this. All right, and you can see that that stick is going to go ahead and push down on those primers. And as it gets to the end, it's going to make that noise, all right? So also we've got a nice box for completed rounds. We've got a stand over here for these are 155 grain berries. I like them because they're good plinking rounds and they're cheap and they're plentiful. You can find them. I'm going to be using Hodgin HX6. That's a tongue-tied twister. And I've got my Hornady scale set up. Whatever scale you use, I like digital the best. You can see it's at 0. You can actually push 0. And it's zeroed again. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do that. We also have this powder check. This is kind of neat. What it does is it's low powder. Once the powder goes down all the way, it goes off. Do you need it? No, but is it cool? Yeah. All right. There's also a powder check station that would go here. I do have one. I just don't have it installed at this particular moment. And what it allows you to do is to, if you're going really fast, you know, you want to make sure you don't have a what do they call it, a squib, where you just have a primer and a bullet in your case, and they get stuck in the barrel. I actually had one happen last week. I was shooting a 300 blackout, one of my buddies, rounds that he loaded, and it actually squibbed in my barrel, which, I mean, it's not a big deal to clear. It's just if you have that, you just know that that's not going to happen, right? Okay, so as we can see, this is a progressive. So as it goes through the stations, it progressively makes you a bullet. And one other thing that I do want to make sure that I tell you to make sure you have, if you don't already have one, is a case gauge. This happens to be the Dillon case gauge that I've got here in 40 Smith & Wesson. Super importante, muy importante. Because what this is going to allow you to do is to check your final work. Because there's nothing worse than trying to load something in your weapon and it doesn't go. That's bad, right? So you want to make sure that you check it so they fit nice and smooth, just the way it's going to go into your barrel. All right? So that's really important, really important. So make sure you get a case gauge. Also, once you go through and you set up your dies, just make sure they're tight. Every once in a while, I like to just grab a hold of them and make sure that everything is secure. I have started a batch before and have them work out, you know, because you get excited, you just start going on it, and pretty soon I have all kinds of different things going on. So don't want to do that. All right, so what we've done here is, you can see, the first step that's going to happen is when this slides back, a case is going to be put in here. And then once it gets a case in there, it's going to go up into the top up here. And you can see that that's a deprimer. And then up inside of that, the case is going to go up in there, and it's going to resize the case. I'll get a picture anyway, it doesn't matter. It's going to resize the case. And that's what's important, because you've got to start out with the right size case. And again, this is going to deprime it. All right. These things do break from time to time, or they get bent or whatever. Don't try to rebend them. It's not worth it. It doesn't work. They will break. It's just easier to get another one. When you purchase the Dillon deals or whatever, they do come with an extra one in there. So you can use those, or you can purchase them separately, whatever. All right. So anyway, we go ahead and load our cases. What I've got to do first is I need to advance the shell plate, but that's good. I don't really have to go too far. You can see that I've already have a primer indexed. See that primer? Go around this side here. Let's see, where is that? There it is. See that primer? So that one is going to go ahead and come down here. It's going to come right here. But what we're going to do is we're going to go and size that first round, right? Let's go around this way. It's a little easier to see. Okay, so I can feel some resistance as it goes up. You hear that little sound, that clicky sound? That's the old primer being pushed out, and the case is now sized. Now it advances to the next step. Now what's happening is this case doesn't have anything in it. I'll show you. There it goes. No primer, no mold. Now what happens here is when it's in this area right here and you push forward on the handle, and you can see I've got the updated handle instead of the little ball. This is just easier to use. So anyway, so you go up here and you push forward like that. You can almost feel it go in there. It's not really, you're not pushing that super hard, but you can feel it just kind of like fit in there. And now what's happened is we have a new primer. I like Winchester primers myself, but you know, everybody's got their own freaking what they like, what they don't like kind of deal, right? Use what you like. All right, I'll put that back in there. Okay, so now at the same time, we've got a new case in here now. You see it? So that one's going to come up and be deprimed and resized. This one is going to now have a primer in it. When it went up, now it's going to go up into the filler tube for powder. All right, now when it goes up and gets filled and it comes back down, now it's got the amount, and I push forward again. That's going to go ahead and put another primer into this one. Okay, this one now has powder in it. Now, what also happened here, you can see the powder's in there, but this one also got flared just a little bit at the top. And the reason it did is because when we get ready to put our bullets in, you'll be able to do that, and it'll fit, you know. So a little snug, you don't want it too loose, but by belling it, and you can actually adjust that, you know, how far that goes down, and that's going to determine how big the bell is on it, okay? So now, and I also, you know, I took the pin out here, the indexing pin, And what that does, that keeps your rounds from jumping around in there too. It's good to have on there for the sake of what we're doing right now. I don't have it in there. All right, so let's do another one. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go aggressively forward. All right, now we take this pin off here, and I'm doing this one-handed, so bear with me. All right, so I like to check my powder. 7.5 to 7.6, that's really where I want to be. You can see that 7.6, that's really good. 7.7, so that's perfect. Where I wanted to be. What happened is that 7.2 was the medium or the low end side, and 8.1 was the high. So 7.6 for a good plinking round. I think that's going to be perfect for me. So you can play around with it. I always like to go under where they're at because I just don't want to take a chance. I don't think anybody wants to blow up, right? All right, so, or I don't want to blow anybody up if somebody's shooting my stuff. All right, I don't sell it, but sometimes I'll give it away to let buddies try it. The next one is going to come up here, and what this die is going to do, this die is going to make it the height, which is 1.1 1/4, I believe it is. And so it's going to come up into there, and then it's going to seat that bullet. So we come up. Okay, so now we've got it seated, the right height. Now, all the time we're advancing, pushing again. Now we just put another primer into that one, right? That one, push it out, resized it. This one, put a primer in it and powder, beld it a little bit. This one is where our powder check station would be. And again, I do have one. I just don't have it in place right now. It would go there. And if there was no powder or overcharge, it would make a beeping sound to let us know, right? The next one, this one's going to make it the size that we want it, as far as how deep it is inside the case. And the last station, which is where that round is at, is going to take that bell off. You can look at that round, and you can almost see it's got kind of a flange on the outside. But we want to take that off. So what we're going to do is we're going to put another bullet up here, right? And then we're going to go and put another bullet up here. And again, I'm doing this one-handed, so I apologize if it looks a little awkward. And please don't beat me up on the posting of this deal. I mean, I'm just doing what I can, right? So here we go. So we're going to go with that right there. Let's get that kind of straight. All right, so we come on, go up here. Now, all right, now what it did now in that last station is it now took that bell off. You can see it, right? See, the bell's gone. And now we're indexed, okay? So then we come over to our rounds that we just made. And you can see everything looks beautiful, right? So we can check it, put it in here, check it, everything's right there. And then what we can also do is take out our calipers, and we can check that round. So let's check that round. I'm checking that round right now. Yeah, and it's right where it should be. Okay? So, I mean, there you go. I mean, it's just, that's where it should be. Okay? So, anyway, so I like to do that once in a while and check those out. You can vary. There's a tolerance. You need to look at what your overall length, what it can be. There's a lot of information online that you can choose from and go with that. So, hopefully, that kind of give you an idea. And again, you can go as fast as you want, Again, I'm going one-handed. I'm going one-handed here. And, it's still faster than the old, traditional one at a time kind of. Well, I am doing one at a time, but it's progressive. All right. So if I wasn't one-handed, you can imagine how much faster I would be, right? So I hope that helped you out. I hope you got a little bit out of that. And I hope you guys enjoy reloading. And I'm going to reload some more rounds, different types. And then if you have any questions or want to see me do something, I don't know about that. But anyway, sua sponte. I hope everyone out there be safe and come home alive. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.